Today we have with us Bharat Bader from Bluesign. Bharat, good morning, and thanks for taking time out to talk to us. To start with, how do you foresee the balance between technological innovation and environmental integrity evolving within the textile and the apparel value chain?
Yeah, that's in fact a very good question, and I think the system of Bluesign is taking this very much into account because we start assessing the chemical supplier. So we really start at the beginning of the whole textile value chain. Yeah? And a chemical supplier is, when he is part of the Bluesign system, is able to use our Bluesign tool, and this Bluesign tool helps him to develop new products with the aspect of the environmental behind. And I think this is very, very important that you start from the beginning, when you start developing products, that you really start with the environmental aspect. And our chemical assessment is not only looking at consumer safety, this is very important for sure that you can sell all your chemical products out to every market, but we also look at the environmental, so that it's going to the air, to the wastewater, and also for the safety of the worker. So that means you can start developing your new chemical products having in mind all these environmental aspects, so air emission, wastewater, and the safety of the worker. So this is on the chemical side, yeah? And on the product side of the fabric of a manufacturer, there I think as we have this three-part approach, so when we are not only focused on the manufacturing, we are focused on chemical supply and on brands. So we are able to help on developing. So we have now, for example, at Kaiser, I can share with you a brand that is looking for a jacket, and it has to be Bluesign approved. He wants it to be Bluesign approved because he wants it to be sustainable and meeting the requirements of an environmental sustainability. But he has no sealing tape that is matching this. So we help him now to look for this, yeah, with a chemical supplier and with the manufacturer of this sealing tape. And this is exactly the work we are doing with our partners, yeah, trying to bring them development and always in mind the sustainability and the environmental behind that. So yeah, I think this is the future. Yeah. So.
Correct, absolutely right. So, Bluesign is known for creating sustainable supply chain solutions. So, in your opinion, what is the most overlooked opportunity for the companies to improve sustainability at the early stages of product development?
Okay, I think here a little bit the same, yeah. So people sometimes don't think when starting a factory, for example. So you should look already on the environmental emissions, for example. Yeah, so when you start a production line, look at what kind of chemicals you are using it from the beginning. Then you know what kind of cleaning system you need to install, for example, or what kind of best technologies you can install. So I think you should really start in the beginning. When you build up a factory, starting of thinking of what will go out to the air and to wastewater. Yeah? And this is one thing, and when this is for new factories, yeah, but I think there are building new factories everywhere, and I see a lot of factories that this is not have taken part of at the beginning, yeah, and this nowadays really should be done, yeah. So look what kind of emissions you put out in the air and in the wastewater before you install the machines, that you can install the right machines, yeah. So this is one thing, and when the other thing, I think you need to know where you are buying from, and this is key also. So not only for the chemicals, on the chemicals it's key because then you influence in your emissions, but also in the raw materials, yarn, grade fabric. So know your supply chain, not only for the brands, it's also for a manufacturer. Know where you're buying for and know what you need to control. Then it will be easier to produce more sustainable because you know where are your key points you need to monitor. Yeah.
Right, absolutely right. Coming back to technology part, I'd like to ask you, like, how do you see digitalization and smart technologies playing in the future, the role in the future of sustainable textile production, and how is Bluesign positioning itself
Yeah.
to be at the forefront of this technological shift?
Okay, yeah, this is very important. So we see the regulation in Europe, for example, going through this eco-design claim, so going towards DPP. And I think this is very, very good for the end consumer to make more sustainable decisions in buying. Yeah. So this is the overall goal. And the overall goal is that when the end consumer is looking at the garment, he can see with one check in this digital passport, is this a sustainable garment? Where is it made for? What is the water consumption? What is the electricity, the energy behind this? And I think these are information that are very important for the end consumer to decide what to buy. And I'm convinced that this will be the future. And how Bluesign is positioning ourselves, so we are preparing. It's not yet clear what exactly will be in this digital product passport. So this is, we know more or less, it will be impact, it will be electricity and water consumption, it will maybe part of chemicals also, what kind of hazardous chemicals are there or not there. It will maybe repairability, recyclability. These are things we are preparing ourselves now because we have the primary data from our manufacturers. So we want to be able to give our customers the possibility to push this data that we can, together with the customers, develop and have it to this digital product passport that will be coming 2027. So we are preparing ourselves to have the data ready for pushing.
Great, great. Given the challenges of scaling sustainability, how does Bluesign ensure that the small and the medium-sized enterprises, like the SMEs, can access the benefit of sustainability, but without straining their resources?
Yeah. Okay, first of all, we think what is our philosophy and what we want to do is support companies, enable them to be more efficient, be more sustainable, but also more efficient. That means use less resources, so maybe saving money. Yeah. So this is one of our credos that we really think needs to be done. So we want to enable the customer. So, and the small and medium sized, this is the most important thing for them, that we enable them. So this is exactly where I see this can be a good thing for this small and medium sized, that we really support them in producing better and more sustainable. And we have also a new service that is called Impact Service, where we say, okay, let's start not with this very holistic and very also time-consuming service that is our Bluesign System partnership. So we can start one step back, only focusing on the very basic environmental aspects and on the chemical assessment. Because we are thinking for the small and medium-sized companies, the chemical assessment is the most important, because there I think the knowledge is missing. Yeah? And for a small and medium-sized company, it's maybe not so easy to hire a chemical engineer. Yeah? And so there we can help. So we have 100 chemical engineers at our disposal, and there they can outsource the chemical knowledge to Bluesign. And this is what we think we can do with this new impact service.
Right. So with the growing demand for transparency in the supply chain, how do you foresee Bluesign certification influencing the consumer behavior and driving an industry-wide change in the coming years?
Yeah, this is a little bit what I said before already with the DPP. I think transparency in the supply chain is always, it was important, and Bluesign lived this 25 years ago already when we started. So we said we need to know what is coming in, so what is really but that you know where is your raw materials are coming from, that you can be sure that everything is good at the end. And now it's the same thing, but now it's mandatory. Now, in some countries, this is the legal requirements are now like that you need to be transparent. Yeah. So, and I think for us, this is a good thing that it shifts from voluntary to mandatory. And yes, we will be there and help with our primary data and the pushing it to the DPP, the end consumer, that he knows when he buys a product that says Bluesign approved, that is a product that he can rely on.
Correct, absolutely. Bluesign has built a reputation for both leadership and collaboration in sustainability. Can you give one such recent example where any such collaboration that has significantly impacted the textile industry?
Yeah, as I said, because we collaborate from brands to chemical suppliers, it simply to be in our system, we influence the textile industry, yeah, and the supply chain. And I think it's more and more important that we, certification schemes and consultants, are working together, because the manufacturers, they don't want to have 10,000 audits a year. Yeah, so I think it's important that we start collaborating more. Yeah, and we doing this. We are, for example, adding to our service for our partners, so a free of charge HIC verification, because our auditors are also HIC verifiers. So we only work with own auditors, own experts, and we think we should really use this knowledge we have and giving an added service to our manufacturers to not need to do all the different audits. Yeah,
Okay.
I think collaboration is key.
Key, yes.
Yeah.
So it was really wonderful talking to you. It was very informative as well. And
you
thank
so
you
much.
once again for your time.
Thank you.
And wish you a wonderful stay in India.
Thank you.
Thank
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks.